To the stormy weather in the UK is a huge and bitter winter storm in America, which has sent temperatures to their lowest levels for decades. The so-called polar vortex occurs at the Earth's poles. It's an anti-clockwise rotating pool of frigid, dense air with a calm centre, would you believe? The air, which is stuck in one place, gets colder and denser, and then when the winds encircling the air breaks down, they move away from the pole, or they can do, and unusually this Arctic air is heading south across Canada and into the United States. Well, temperatures could fall as low as minus 51 degrees Celsius, that's minus 60 Fahrenheit. 2 feet of snow has already fallen across the country, affecting states in half the continental US from Minnesota to Oklahoma. Well, this is the latest from Oakland County in the Midwest state of Michigan, where courts and government offices across the state remain closed and driving conditions were treacherous. In South Bend in northern Indiana, the roads today are completely covered and more snow has been falling. Latest wind chill temperatures have plummeted to minus 35 degrees Celsius, and 27 Indiana counties are in a state of emergency. And this is the view from space. The NASA image shows the enormous scale of the vortex, covering most of the United States, with only some extreme southern places, such as parts of Florida, escaping the snowstorms. Well, Sky's Dominic Wycombe is live for us in Chicago, heavily wrapped up as we can see. So what's it like, Dominic?
Well, the temperatures are plunging here again now that the sun has gone down. Minus 24, I think, in downtown Chicago, and as you're saying, this polar vortex, which should be circling around the North Pole, has simply slipped thousands of miles south, and it has now brought Arctic conditions to cities like this and way across the Midwest. So minus 20s here in Chicago, further west in the minus 30s, North Dakota mid-minus 30s, but if you add the wind chill, that can take it into the 40s, and as you're saying, it could go to a nadir of 51 degrees below freezing if things go in the way that weather experts are expecting. So here Lake Michigan has frozen, the River Chicago has frozen here, which hardly ever happens in the winter, even in the winter here. That has frozen solid, choked up with ice there. The airport earlier today was the scene of pretty much chaotic scenes as passengers were stranded on their airplanes, including our cameraman whose plane couldn't get into a gate because there were no gates, because planes that were due to take off and leave Chicago were stuck because it was so cold the jet fuel was freezing as they tried to get it into the aeroplanes. Further west in Indianapolis, the roads were clear because the government there, the local authorities, ordered cars to stay at home, banned driving for the day because it was so dangerous. Here the big concern, as across the Midwest, is the health conditions. It is potentially extremely dangerous. If you're out too long in these kind of temperatures, you will get frostbite within half an hour or so, and hypothermia is a very big concern, particularly as night begins here and the light begins to fail and night moves in. I'm wearing thermals, full-length thermals, salopettes, puffer jacket under this, a windproof jacket here, a hat. I've only been out in this for 5-10 minutes and I'm already getting very cold. If you take your gloves off for even a few seconds, it gets really painful. So that's what it's like in minus 24 degrees here in Chicago. So I think the concern is for people here that the elderly need to be looked after, need to be kept an eye on. The roads need to stay clear. It's not going to last very long, a day or two more, but while it stays here, these extraordinary record-breaking conditions are potentially very dangerous for people across the Midwest.
Go and find a coffee or a cup of tea. Dominic, thank you.